You know you're the youngest child when, at 3 years old, you already had your own opinion. At 5, you have your own style. And at 7, you want to start your own YouTube channel. But behind the laughter, there's something deeper that people don't always see. Welcome back to Live Light. In our last few episodes, we explored birth order, a fascinating phenomenon. I hope it has helped you understand yourself and your siblings a little better. As I mentioned before, I am an only child, or rather, I grew up as an only child. I lost my brother when I was 5, so for all practical purposes, I was an only child. I would have given anything under the sun for it to be different. But well, that's just not how life worked out for me. So for those of you who have brothers and sisters, please cherish them, love them. Yes, you might be as different as day and night, but you have a brother or a sister. So make the most of it. I also mentioned before that my husband is the eldest of 3. Today we are focusing on the youngest child in the family. In their particular family, I'd say the youngest doesn't display typical youngest child behavior because there's more than a 5-year gap between him and his older brother. Remember those exceptions that we talked about in the first episode? He definitely got some of the other perks of being the youngest. But understandably, he was the youngest. He was the baby. So there was a bit of a special treatment. So today the spotlight falls on the baby of the family. Last, yes, but definitely not least. If you yourself are the youngest, or maybe you have a youngest child in your household, then you know they're not just a child. They're a whole event. From that first, I'll do it myself, you realize this one's going to be a handful in the best sense of the word. Youngest children, they are normally the entertainers of the family, the jokers, the adventurers, the ones who say, why not? Before anyone has even asked, what are you going to do? And yes, sometimes we're going to say it, they are the masters of manipulation. Not always in a bad way. They are just extremely skilled. They know how to tilt their heads just so and how to flash the cutest smile right on cue and boom, everybody melts. As Dr. Lehman says, if you're the baby of the family, you probably have a master's degree in charm and a PhD in getting your way. Or as Grandma always says, oh, leave him, he's just a baby. But what makes them this way? By the time that youngest child is born, Mom and Dad are no longer those book reading, everything first child parents. No. They've already been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. Rules? Well, what the oldest child got sent to their room for, to think about all their sins, just brings the youngest a sigh and it's probably not that bad. Youngest are the masters in observation. They watch, they learn, they take it all in, and then they act with passion, with flair, and with zero fear. Youngest children have that do it now and think later mentality. Impulsive? Yes, definitely. But on the other hand, also very brave. They're the ones who decide at 7, I want to start my own YouTube channel tomorrow. Or they just dye their hair blue just because they can. They jump and then ask if there was a safety net. But beneath that charm, there's something deeper. Youngest children feel intensely. They long to be truly seen. And when they feel they aren't taken seriously, they might become rebellious or withdraw completely. Dr. Lehman, who himself is the baby of the family, says it well. He says, the baby may be funny, but that doesn't mean they don't want to be taken seriously. Youngest are the ones who say, I'll show you. Not in your way, my way, but in their own unique way. They want to stand out. They don't want to follow in others' footsteps, but carve their own path. But yes, sometimes they do wonder, am I only loved because I'm cute or because I really matter? And that's why they flourish on encouragement. Just a simple, I see you, or you're good enough just as you are. That carries them further than you'll ever realize. Did you know that one of our greatest needs is just to be seen? And it starts from early on. That little girl in her new ballerina dress, dancing in front of her daddy, and he looks up from his phone and goes, oh wow, you're so beautiful. Then she's totally okay. Her daddy has seen her. But if her daddy can't tear his eyes from his phone for a second to say something about a beautiful dress, something happens inside her that stays with her for the rest of her life. A longing just to be seen. But okay, that's a story for another day. Let's get back to our youngest children. Did you know that even in the Bible, we see God often uses the youngest for great things? Remember David, the youngest of all his brothers? He defeated Goliath. Joseph, almost forgotten by his brothers, ultimately saved a whole nation. God doesn't just look at your place in the family line. He looks at your heart. You may be last born, but in God's plan, you are right on time. So, what makes them so unique? Well, they are absolutely full of energy, like an espresso machine on turbo. They are creative. They can put on a drama with just a paper bag and a flower pot. They are authentic. What you see is what you get. They are WYSIWYGs. And sometimes you get more than what you expected or bargained for. They are determined. They will prove they can. And don't confuse their jokes for foolishness. They are fast thinkers and extremely smart. And maybe you listening now as the oldest or the middle child, and sometimes you feel like the youngest always gets all the attention. But just remember, every child brings something unique to their family. You're not in competition. You're a team. And when you start to see each other for who you really are, not just where you stand in line, your home becomes a place of healing and growth. Parents of youngest children, here's some golden advice. 1, don't box them in as just the funny one. There's so much more to them, so much more depth. 2, I know it's hard, but don't always try and fix everything for them. Sometimes they need to figure things out on their own. Let them learn responsibility. And 3, don't compare. Give them space to be unique, even if they want to start their own clothing line at 9. And to you, if you're listening today and you're the baby of the family, your value doesn't lie in how cute you are. It lies in who you are. You are enough, just as you are. Your voice matters. Your dreams are valid. And God uses you to bring light in ways only you can. So keep dreaming, keep daring, keep pushing boundaries. With you, we discover new horizons and possibilities. Thank you for listening with me today. And if you know someone who's the youngest, share this episode with them. Who knows? Maybe you're God's encouragement for their heart today. Look out for our next episode where we will quickly explore which birth orders make the best match. If you're not married yet, you can still change your mind quickly. But if you're married, oops, then you're stuck. So you just have to make the best of it, right? Just teasing. Remember, it's just an observation. Every relationship is and remains unique. But if you're curious, listen next week. Remember to subscribe on YouTube or visit my website at www.livelight.com. Until next time, live light.